a party performs a partial part of it, for example, if it is like 100%, the person performs 60%. The person is paid what he deserves. We have what we call quantum melt. It is a Latin word, like the person should be paid as much as deserved. And lastly, we shall talk about divisible contract. Divisible contract, for example, you enter into a contract, or divisible performance. You enter into a contract, and that contract you have entered in, you are supposed to deliver maybe like 100 bags, and you deliver only 2 bags. At the end of the day, the person owns you. The person will pay only 2 bags, not the 100 bags which have not yet delivered. So that's what we call discharge by performance. I want to talk about discharge by agreement. Discharge by agreement, for it, it's where parties come into an agreement, and after the contract ends by agreement. For example, agreement, remember, it is ending in some ways. We have what we call satisfaction, we have what we call accord, novation, alteration. For example, when you talk about satisfaction and accord, it's an agreement, and satisfaction, it is a consideration. So at the end of the day, when you talk about novation, you entered into a contract. For example, you're constructing a house, and the house, maybe you don't finish it, you replace with another party to replace you to do what? To construct that house. And that is what we call novation, meaning the person has agreed with the owner by changing another person to come and work in his or her position. It has been changed by novation. There is what we say alteration. It's almost the same as novation. There's no difference big. And I'll talk about discharge by breach. When I talk about discharge by breach, that one, discharge by breach, it is a situation where one party performs and the other party fails to perform. For example, X is supposed to deliver beans on a school. The X delivers those beans on a school, and the school fails to pay the money. The school has breached the contract. So remember, under that breach of contract, we have what we call fundamental breach and what we call anticipatory breach. Fundamental breach, it is the heart of the contract, meaning it's the main major term of the contract. The contract can be cancelled at the option of the other party, because it is the fundamental. For example, I tell you I want a green vehicle, you bring to me a blacker vehicle, meaning I can reject the other vehicle you have delivered to me because it's not the one I asked for. At the end of the day, you have breached the contract. And the one of anticipatory breach, it is divided into two, what we call expressed breach and implied breach. Under expressed, remember they are provided under section 8 of the Contract Act. Expressed, someone may tell you, for example, you have organized an event, they're going to marry you, and the person writes and like, do you know what, I'm not interested in you, I'm not going to marry you. The person has expressed through writing, but she has breached the contract. And implied, it's where the person is supposed to marry you October, and the person goes ahead and marries another person. By implied, meaning conducts, the person has married another person, and the contract has been breached in such a way. So lastly, we shall talk about